Good morning, a warm welcome. Sage here from the Kalkine studio in Sydney. You're watching the early trades. The S&P ASX 200's up today, gaining 0.20%, and the top performing stocks in this index are Kalkine Foods, up by 10.96%, and Northern Star Resources, up by 6.48%. Over the last 5 days, the index has gained 3.00%, but is down 9.74% for the last year to date. Now let's look at some of the stocks making a buzz today in the opening session of the ASX, starting with news coming from Macquarie Group. They're to raise $400 million in debt via the issue of capital notes to be listed on the ASX. The offer is to open on July the 6th and will be available to retail and institutional investors. Macquarie has also slashed its dividend ratio to between 50 and 70% of earnings and launched a $1.5 billion institutional share placement in November 2021 as it looks to secure cash. Shares of Macquarie Group have been trading down 0.26% during the opening session of the ASX. ASX-listed natural products player BWX has announced a fully underwritten $23.2 million capital raise. The raise comprises a $13.5 million placement to sophisticated and professional investors and $9.7 million 1-for-10 traditional non-renounceable entitlement offer. The placement of new fully paid ordinary shares is fully underwritten at 60 cents per share, representing a 48.7% discount to the last closing price of $1.17 per BWX share on the 23rd of June 2022. BWX now expects a net loss between $10 million and $14 million on revenue up 6% to $206 million in financial year 2022. EBITDA is set to plunge 76% to between $6 million and $10 million. Shares of BWX have been trading down by 39.32% during the opening session of the ASX. Kalkine Foods has delivered revenue of 11.1% higher in 2022. Underlying EBITDA from continuing operations rose 12.6%, while statutory net NPAT from continuing operations jumped 47.2%. And Kalkine Foods is a KFC and Taco Bell franchisee in Australia and KFC franchisee in the Netherlands as well as Germany. It's also the franchisor for Sizzler in Asia. Its operating cash flow stands at $156.3 million. Shares of Kalkine Foods was trading at 10.51% during the opening session of the ASX. And now let's look at some important economic shifts happening around the world. The Bank of Korea is poised to raise its policy rate by 0.5 percentage point for the first time next month to tame inflation that's at a decade high and shore up the won, according to trader expectations signalled by market rates. South Korea's implied policy rate in 6 months is around 3% as of June 27th. And well, that's all for now in the early trades. Do stay tuned to Kalkine TV as we have many more shows lined up for you for sharing the live updates across the economy, markets and sectors. Sage signing off.